What's happening, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Street Notes. Today's video, it's going to cover two different days of shooting. Both of them had pretty terrible light, to be honest. However, I was lucky enough to get a photo that I really like, even though the light was pretty bad for most of it. I'm also shooting with an X-Pro2 and a Voigtlander 21mm lens, which works out to about 32.5 on the crop sensor. And in the later half of the video I'm shooting again with the X100V, and I'm trying out this Moment Cinebloom filter, which probably is better kept for night shots. So as you can see, the light's pretty terrible, but there was a decent amount of people floating around, and there was some people who looked like they might have been tourists, and I just slipped in behind them and took a picture while they were taking a picture. And what I like about this photo, well, the light is terrible for a start, but what I do like about it is this girl looked round at the last second. They're both like holding Starbucks. They kind of look like high fashion tourists or something like that, and they're not really laughing there, but the one girl on the right smiled afterwards, so at least knew that I didn't just make them angry. I'm trying to use this little empty booth thing, and I wasn't really seeing anybody to frame up through there, but then at the last second I saw that guy in the red jacket, and I got him framed on the right hand side there. It's all a little bit dark, and to be honest, if I brighten it up it just looks terrible, so that was the best I got there. This old Radio Shack has been turned into some kind of art installation, and this construction worker was sipping her coffee and looking at it, and I was talking about it as I was walking up to it to try and throw her off and make her think she wasn't going to be in the picture. She did catch me, but the picture was terrible anyways. I thought this scene with the yellow Mustang was pretty cool, with the 7-Eleven there and then the patterned lines on the building. And Jack walked across the street to try and take a photo of this guy getting into his Mustang. He was pretending that he was a car buff and was taking pictures of his car while the guy was getting into it. And it was fine. I mean, he has a Mustang, I'm sure people take pictures of it once in a while. Right, so the sun at this point had just poked through the clouds for a little while, didn't stay out for too long, and coming across here I could see someone getting ready to leave Walgreens, so I sort of hoped that they would walk out on the right hand side there, and I waited. I had that nice perspective of the street, but he came out the other door suddenly, and I snapped off a couple pictures, and I like the perspective, and I like the fact that there's another guy on the left hand side that balances it out. Nice light, but it's not that great. There's a guy with a cool hat walking past this shop that has a whole bunch of hats in the window. There wasn't really enough detail, I think, or like the hats weren't obvious enough in the window, and maybe the guy isn't well enough defined or something like that. But now coming along here, there was a nice red door and this little puppy that was chained up outside waiting on his owner. He was super friendly, and we stopped to sort of pet him for a second, and he was trying to play with us. And I got a couple really good pictures of him. This was the first one I got, and there's something about this, can't exactly articulate why I like this, but I do. Now, this was one of the times where the sun actually came out, and I thought maybe I could use this like light and dark patch of the street here and somehow use these red sort of bush things to somehow frame somebody or just create a complex looking frame. It wasn't going to work out as I wanted it to. On the next corner there was this lady waiting on a bus. She had a nice red shirt and purple head scarf thing on, and just as we arrived the bus came and she walked towards it. This one it's still not that good. There's too much darkness on the left hand side, but the best thing about it is the colours that she's wearing.
Hey, you ain't got no pictures of me on there, right? Do you?
No, man.
Because you owe me royalties if you do. Alright, what do you take pictures of?
Just everything. Whatever.
Everything. So you take pictures of people without their permission?
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, you owe them rights, because if you share them anywhere,
there's cameras all over the place.
That's survey, and they need to be paid.
Only if you sell
You
it.
have to agree. You don't know who's an artist.
Yep.
Don't worry, it's
Lawyers
good.
don't mean anything. It's all called litigation. That's what we're doing right now.
We're not taking your
Do you have
picture.
any pictures of me because I'm an accredited artist from another town and
you're
here.
not interesting enough.
So therefore,
it's okay.
I'm not interesting enough.
No.
Good.
I just want to jump in here and say that he's completely wrong. This is the first person that's ever questioned me in any sort of hostile way when shooting street photography, but does not have the correct facts. And you know, if anybody does come up to you with this sort of stuff on the street, just you know, walk away, say whatever you can to get away from them, or you could call them out on their bullshit and tell them to call the cops, because you have not done anything wrong, and the cops will most likely just get mad at them for wasting their time. Back to the video. Alright, this was one of the best photos that I got of the day, in fact of the last few weeks. In this building here, we've seen this spot before, and it's got nice colours, it's a nice scene, but I've never seen somebody sitting in there before. So I'll wait here for a while, and I expect this guy to, I try and find a nice framing, something that I like, and I expect this guy to turn around and look at me, and he never does. And then, after I took the shot that I like, I walked away, gave up, and he looked round the second that I walked away, of course, because he didn't want to look while I was standing there, I guess. And I love this picture. I love the plants on the right hand side. I like the shadow. There was, lucky enough, the sun had came out and it was casting this lovely shadow on that red patch there. And then the guy, I mean, he's just looking at his phone, but the colour, the sort of yellowish background that he's in, and that's just the way it is, the sort of graphic nature of it. I love this. Alright, this is the next week or 2 weeks later even. Starting off on 16th Street again with the X100 and the Moment Cinebloom filter. This was one of the only sunny points of the day, I think. The rest of the day it was partially cloudy, and I like this shot just because it's kind of like set into 4 different frames, and that guy's doing that gesture with his hand. Here I was trying to see if these lights would in any way bloom. I know it's in the daytime. I think this Cinebloom filter is best utilised at night time, or if you use the stronger version of it, it works a bit better. And also it's very flat light, so it doesn't really work. This guy coming through here just had the same coloured like patches on his clothes as the roadworks. For months I've seen this bear and I've never once saw anybody near it, but today I realised that there was a whole bunch of people inside that shop, and if I just wait long enough, people are going to start walking out of it. Didn't really know if anything was going to come of it. This lady, I mean, I'm being pretty obvious standing there. And this was the best one I got, was when this guy came out and he was kind of trying to zip his jacket at the same time, and I framed the bear in the corner. I mean, it's really just layered, that's all there is about it. But the bear looks funny, and one day there'll be good light in that section and I think I'll get something. This was a girl in the window. I thought she was a mannequin, but she sort of posed afterwards. It was kind of funny. These guys were pressure washing the street. I've never seen that before. So I tried to take some pictures of it. Thought it might be, it's kind of interesting looking. Also, this store is still boarded up since the election, I think, although it is still open, I believe. This guy was looking at me as I was taking his picture there. He definitely had a confused look on his face. I think the next one is the better one because he's not looking at me, and there's kind of nice colours in here. I noticed this bike coming through and there was just people moving around, and I thought they'd all sort of come together into something. The guy on the right is doing a nice gesture, but everything's grey, there's no good lighting, it's just a bit flat. I do like that people are sort of lined up nicely though. Here Rudy had spotted a dying flower that had been like placed in this construction barrier thing. So here, I mean, the camera's facing the ground, but I'm trying to use flash to shoot it.
Oh, did you do a flash? Yeah, oh! Actually came out kind of nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. The sky. Does it?
Now I used the flash on the camera to shoot this, just because Jack was using flash and I was like, oh, let's see what flash does with this. It's kind of It's a good time to be using it, especially in this flat light, and it came out fantastic. This like smashed up window here, I got really close to it and realised there was a whole bunch of construction going on inside. And actually, as I was about to give up, this lady walks past us in these bright red pants, and that was pretty awesome, so followed her for a while. She was walking towards the car anyways, and trying to shoot as she's coming across the road, trying to get kind of close and find a good well, I guess as best a composition as I can, or just mostly waiting for her jacket to like flare out. And this one was pretty good. I think maybe the right hand side of the frame was a little bit empty, and this one was probably my favourite. You know, I used to think that overcast weather was the best light to shoot in because you could edit more or it gave some sort of mood, but I think the mood only comes if like the ground's wet, or if there's mist, or if it's actively raining or snowing or something like that, that adds something else. But everything's dry, the light was flat, it was horrible. But I'm so glad I went out, and you never know, the light might just get good at some point and it might be just at the right time, as it was when I was walking past that building and I got the shot with the guy sitting on that red chair and the plant in the foreground. I love that shot, I'm really happy with that, and it made it all worth going out and struggling for several hours thinking I hadn't got anything good. So anyways, after 2 days of crappy overcast weather and not particularly busy streets, I'm hoping for something better next time I go out shooting. So thank you very much for watching, like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully the weather's better. Cheers.